So you want to talk about what's in my camera bag? All right, we can do that. So, starting off my little bag tour, we've got the Billingham Hadley one. This is sort of the main bag that I'll be bringing with me on shoots. Anywhere where I shoot is like safe, and it's not going to be, I don't have the risk of it being covered in drinks or anything like that. This is the bag that I'll be bringing with me. I used to use a Peak Design bag, the Everyday 20 litre, which I think it's a really good bag as well. I just love the way that this thing looks, the Billingham Hadley. The old Digital Rev TV days when Kai and stuff like that would have these bags, it really just, I don't know, I've always really liked the way that they looked. They're made in England, they're beautiful quality. Let's have a look at what's inside. I like this khaki colorway as well. It makes me feel like Indiana Jones. So we'll open this up. Got these nice little zips here. What's in the front pockets? We got a light meter, Sekonic L308X. Yeah, so this sort of lives in the front pocket. In this pocket here, we've got a spare battery, as well as this little rocket blower. This thing is invaluable. I always have a little small one of these on me at all times, just because you never know. And with mirrorless cameras now, they don't have a shutter to get rid of dust off the sensor like on the old SLRs. So you do need to make sure you've got one of these just in case you get some dust on your sensor. In the sort of side compartment here, I've got my Zeiss 32 1.8 to it, which I love this lens so much. So this always comes with me. Got a little flash. This is the Fujifilm EFX20 flash. It's a real shame that they discontinued this because this is like such a great little flash, and they're selling for so much money nowadays. I bought it when it was available for like 150 bucks, and the fact that these are now going for like 700 on eBay is crazy, but I love this flash. I'm never gonna get rid of it. Really, really good to have in the bag. What else do we have? We have, oh, okay, that wasn't good. The 50 1.0. This is, yeah, obviously my favorite portrait lens at the moment. You'll notice as well that like out of these 3 bag setups that I've got, some lenses will obviously carry over. I don't have multiples of like the 50 1.0, for example, but I do use it in the portrait kit and also in my nightclub kit, which I'm about to show you. So yeah, so we got this, and then we got the 90 f2 as well, which I love using this as a portrait lens. I think this thing is awesome. It's really, really good in a studio. It's great as a telephoto, which is why it's in my events kit as well, but it's really good as a portrait lens. Yeah, this thing is great. Really, really good. Such fast autofocus as well. This thing is just like lightning. I find that in a studio sometimes it can be a little bit much though, like it can definitely compress just a little bit too much. So I do probably lean towards the 50 a little bit more, but you know, it just depends on the vibe, depends on what I'm doing, and depends on the shoot, I suppose. And then in this compartment here, I've got the camera, which, is this big boy? Well, it's not big, it's actually quite small, but this is the X-T5. I bought this as an addition to my X-H2S, which is filming right now. I adore this camera. I'm definitely gonna be making a full review on this camera soon, so definitely subscribe if you wanna check that out. I think this thing is awesome. You know, this is just Fuji at its absolute finest. The 40 megapixel sensor on here is so sharp, so good. I think this is a bit crap for video, to be honest with you though. Like it doesn't, you know, this screen is good for photos, but not really good for video. So, but I bought this just as a photo camera. I don't really intend to use this for video. I love the size of it. I love the ergonomics. I've got this little small root grip on it as well, which I find works really nicely. And then the lens that's on it is, again, my 18-1.4, which is probably my most used lens. It's just so sharp. Focus on it is so accurate and quick. Weather sealed, obviously, which is really good too. And it's just, this thing is awesome. This combination here makes me so happy to have done the switch from Canon to Fuji. And if you guys are interested in seeing a video about why I switched from Canon to Fuji, for sure, definitely let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to make something like that in the future. But yeah, no, this is a really, really good lens, really good camera. I love using this thing. Absolutely love it. The battery life on it is fantastic as well. This bag is really modular, so I definitely put, and it's like, yeah, I've got all my little compartments in here, everything. Oh, let me get you on focus. In here, I've got all my sort of compartments, so I can actually really easily put everything back and just, yeah, everything kind of just works nicely. Size, put that in here, put that in there. Cool, fold that all up, and then this all closes up. Okay, sweet. And now, let's have a look at my club kit, which is in the black Pelican. All right, so with the Billingham done, let's talk about my next bag, part of the bag series, I guess, if you will. This is a Pelican 1450. This is my club photography kit. So this is what I bring with me every Saturday when I go and shoot nightclubs, those events as well. The reason I don't bring the Billingham with me when I go to nightclubs is just because I don't want it to get damaged or ruined. And I think the Pelican just offers a little bit more security and it looks a little more badass as well. So I like this little briefcase. It's nice and secure. This is what it looks like inside. I would not be using the X-T5 normally for nightclubs. I'd be using the X-H2S, but I'm filming with it right now. So for all intents and purposes, let's pretend the X-T5 is an X-H2S. Everything else otherwise is identical. Yeah, so what do we have? What do we have in this kit? So we've got our camera, which is the XH2S. Pretend this is an XH2S, hang on. With an 18-1.4 WR, this is my go-to club lens at the moment. It's just amazing. Focuses incredibly well in low light. The results are awesome, super duper sharp. And I've always got a glimmer glass filter on the end here as well. It really kind of just softens and diffuses the light and makes things look really nice. We've got our flash, which is this, the Godox V1 round head flash. I really like this. When I used to shoot Canon, I was using a 600 EX speedlight, but I do quite like the round head on this, and I don't actually use any diffuser or anything. I used to use a Magmod diffuser, but nowadays with how clubs sort of like more harsher flash, kind of direct flash sort of looking photos, I've just switched to no diffuser at all. And I find the photos actually turn out really cool out of this thing. The best thing about this flash, for sure, however, is it's the lithium-ion battery that's in here. It lasts forever. Like, you can seriously keep shooting with this thing for so long. I remember with my old Canon, even with Eneloops, like, you'd have to charge it. Like, you could do probably 2 nights out of it before you'd have to charge it. This thing, I swear to God, you can run it for like a whole month and it just keeps going. Really fast recycle times, really powerful. Haven't had any issues with reliability yet. Knock on wood, nothing happens, but this is a great flash. I recommend it. And then we've got this one here. We've got this lens here, which is the 90 f2. This is a lens that I would say probably doesn't come with me all the time. It just depends. If the event I'm shooting is quite large in scale, get you in focus here. The 90 f2 definitely is the one I'd be bringing with me just because it's really good for as like a telephoto lens. But in more sort of small cramped nightclubs, I probably wouldn't use this one as much, but I included it in the kit just because it does come with me sometimes. And then we got this one here as well. So we've got, oh, it's heavy. We got the 51.0, which is not only also with a glimmer glass filter on the end of it. So this thing is not only a really good portrait lens, but it's also actually a phenomenal nighttime photography lens as well. And obviously nightclubs are dark places. So I do like to use this as well for those really cool natural light shots. And I find it works really well. What else do we have in here? We've got a spare battery. Sometimes I'll bring 1 or 2 spare batteries with me. I find that the battery life on the XH2S is not too bad. So one or 2 extra batteries is usually enough to get me through a night. And I've got a lock as well, which I will put on the case just in case I leave it somewhere a little bit sketchy. And there's an air tag in the case too. But yeah, typically speaking, it's not too bad. You'll also notice as well, I've actually like handmade the Trek Pack system that's in here, these dividers. In my olive Pelican that you're about to see, that one is, I actually bought the dividers like made for the case, but it was, back in focus, it was really expensive. And I just decided that instead of spending like $250 on more trackback dividers for this case, I would just I would just make them by hand, DIY. And yeah, they turned out all right. It looks a little ghetto, but it does work. So, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, so anyway, let's move on to the final case, the big kahuna, the big green bastard, the big green boy, the final of my 3 bags that I'll be showing you today. Okay, so starting with this, the camera, we've got the Mamiya RZ67. It's a big boy, heavy, but I've already made a video on this one, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. It just sits in the Pelican with a 110 2.8 lens. Following that, we have this, the 65mm f4.5. This is an RB lens, but it does work on the RZ just fine. Don't use this one super often, but if I need a wide angle for the Mamiya, I've got it in here as well. It's labeled, which is nice. But this is the 184.5. This is a really cool telephoto lens. Super cheap on eBay. You can find these for like, I think I paid $150 for this shipped, which compared to the 110 is such a bargain, and it's such a sharp lens. Really good thing. Then we got my little Ochu flash sync adapter as well, which I use when I'm in the studio. I typically keep this in here rather than with like my flashes and stuff because I just don't want to lose it, and I only really use it on the RZ. So this lives in the green Pelican. Then we got my Polaroid camera. Also have made a video on this one, the custom SX70 sonar, which my friend Jake built for me. This thing is great. Typically speaking, I just like to kind of keep the big, large format film stuff in one box. And if I'm using the Mamiya, I'm also usually gonna be using the Polaroid as well. So I kind of just keep them in the same box. In here, we've also got, what else have we got? We've got flash bar as well, which has had a custom yellow bit of gel put onto it so that it like makes the photos a little bit warmer, which I really like. And we got the RZ67 Prism. I don't really use this super often, but I like to have it with me just in case. It's really good in a studio. And I also don't really like having this out because I don't actually have the plastic cover that fits on the bottom of this to protect it. So it just lives in the Pelican for now. And then back here, we've got, it's a little box, a Polaroid box. You can stick Polaroids into it. There's none in there right now, but this one's really good when you're on a shoot. It's just a really safe way to be able to transport Polaroids so that you don't bend them or anything. This was like I think $15, which is really expensive for a piece of cardboard, but it fits Polaroids perfectly, so it is what it is. And then lastly, we've also got this, which is, I can get it out, just a spare back for the RZ as well. This is just a 120 back, nice and simple. I think having 2 backs is really, really good. And yeah, that's the Olive Pelican. When needed, this thing comes out and it does this job very, very well. All right, well, that's sort of my gear list, sort of everything that I've got at the moment that I use on shoots at least. There's a few more bits and bobs that I haven't included in this video. Hopefully this has helped some of you guys out, sort of giving you a few good ideas on what you can do. If you like the video, please do subscribe because I've got lots of great photography content coming in the future. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.